Thank you, Senator Inhofe. Senator Gillibrand, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General Walters, Senator Ernst, Rosen, and King, we just returned from visiting with our troops in Germany and meeting Ukrainians as they flee across the border into Poland. Can you give us, consistent with this unclassified setting, an update on what EUCOM's role is in facilitating both the delivery of lethal aid but also our humanitarian efforts to support the Ukrainian people?
Senator, as you're familiar, based off your visit, we had 18th Airborne Corps and the 82nd and a large force put in play in the appropriate geographic region to assure and deter. And part of that program was, when the conditions were right, facilitate the flow of citizens back and forth across the border. And that has certainly taken place. And the utilization of those 5,500 soldiers has enhanced our ability to secure our European population on the Polish side of the border and to take into account the disposition of activities inside of Ukraine by consulting and communicating with those who have departed. So that force has been integral to ensure that the 4 million plus refugees from Ukraine have a soft landing once they come into Europe. And we've still got a lot of work to do, and we'll continue to facilitate that flow and do the best we can from a military perspective to secure those soft landings for the refugees coming out of Ukraine.
Can you speak to Special Operations Command Europe's intention to establish a new forward operating base in Albania to improve our current ability to operate in the Balkans? And can you speak to how this has affected our ability to partner with neighboring forces?
I can, Senator. That advancement is critical. With Albania, will improve their resiliency, will improve their familiarity with other nations on the periphery's resiliency, and it will make that region much stronger and much more ready when it comes to identifying nefarious activities that start to creep in, and the special forces do a fantastic job in the information environment of ensuring that we're out in front of malign influence in that area.
I appreciate the chart that you've given us for the U.S. force posture in Europe, having a total of 102,000 forces as of March 24th, 2022. Do you envision additional changes to force posture in the next few weeks to appropriately stand against Russia?
Senator, we take a conditions-based approach, and we look at the issues second by second, minute by minute. I would just tell you that based off the dynamic environment that exists today, that number could change. I suspect that it probably will, and in which direction will be determined based off conditions in the environment.
Could you please speak to the issue as we are addressing the ongoing situation in Ukraine? China continues to attempt to cultivate influence in Europe and is another challenge that EUCOM has to face. Do you feel that EUCOM is adequately equipped to manage both the acute crisis in Ukraine as well as the long-term challenges posed by China?
We are, Senator, and this goes back to Senator Inhofe's NDS from previous years and the new NDS that is out, that focuses heavily from a U.S. Department of Defense perspective with respect to integrated deterrence and cross-COCOM activity. I'm very, very familiar with the challenges that Admiral Aquilino faces in Indo-PACOM. He's very familiar with the challenges that we face in Europe. And when it comes to the transactions that take place between Russia, China, and China, Russia, we're both very dialed into that as a result of the architecture and process that's in place in the department.
Thank you. General Van Ovost, one issue that my office has heard from service members throughout the pandemic was how COVID delays negatively impacted their PCS, including service members being told to handle their own move due to lack of contractors and services. Do you feel that Transcom's ability to help service members has improved and that Transcom has adapted to the new normal since the onset of the pandemic?
Senator, we are also concerned about the household good movement industry, but writ large, with essentially contested logistics here in the homeland, it has affected all aspects of what we do. I do believe we're headed for a more stable future with respect to the labor market And frankly, our ability to complete the global household goods contract means that I have really good indications we're going to have the capacity necessary to ensure that this doesn't happen into the future.
Thank you, Senator Gillibrand.